How are you doing, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We're gonna be doing a VFR flight, I think, from Lahui Airport here in Hawaii. We're just gonna look at the volcano and just do a flight. I am going to have VATSIM ATC for the down near the main island. They have a approach down there just to listen, just to have something going on in the background. But we're also going to showcase the Piper Comanche. If all my cards are aligned, or everything works out, I should be flying this plane in real life and getting my high performance and complex endorsement in this, basically this exact same plane. It's a little bit different. The one I'm going to be flying is a 260. This is a 250, but I'm going to be using flight sim to actually prepare for actually flying this thing come a week or so. So I was just making sure all my levers and everything are good, because on the A2A Piper, like, it state saves based on the livery. I just did a flight from where I'll be taking off when I do my training in this thing, just to have it, just to get like airport familiarization. That's one of the things about Microsoft Flight Sim I like so much about it. You can do a lot of airport familiarization. You can look out. I mean, you're not going to be able to see some stuff, and it makes sense. Like these trees, I'm sure don't exactly look like this, but at least like airport taxiways and stuff like that, I can use Microsoft Flight Sim to look at those things and get semi-familiar with the actual plane. The CFI is going to give me a picture of the inside of the plane, and just so I can use it as kind of a reference. I don't think it's going to have this Garmin unit right here, which actually I'm going to change this because I'm having some issues with the PS50 GTN 750. But I'm sure it's something silly with the A2A. There is an update that just came out today and I haven't downloaded it yet, so I think there's a way to look it up right here, but I'm not sure. So anyway, so what we're going to do first is we're going to do a walk around like you would do in any other plane, or like in real life. And the way I do a walk around is get the master, get all the lights on. Nope, I hit the nav light. I didn't want to do that. One thing is I don't have a rotary encoder for this right here. So I'm probably going to end up doing is set an axis for this on one of my HOTAS controls. Cool thing about this as well is I can get the fuel pump on and the pitot heat on, which I don't have bound, and you'll see. So I'm also going to extend the flaps and just go and check it, so you can actually manipulate the controls here. So when you're doing an actual walk around, there's a little bar with like a Heim joint with a lock nut. You will need to check that. You can also open the storage thing here and actually you can throw stuff in there, and it actually adds weight to the plane, which is cool. So you're checking the flaps, make sure they're locked. Next thing you're gonna do, you're gonna go over here and check your ailerons. Make sure it's working, and the controls actually move in the plane, which is kind of cool. So I'm not going to check that yet. You'll see why here in a second. Just checking the lights. You know, actually, we're going to check it out. I can just, in real life, what I would do is I would check. You'll see why. There's a fuel sump that you have to have the fuel pump on. That's why I turned it on in the plane under the engine, that you need to check. And the only way to check it is, I think it looks pretty empty, but I did just do a flight and I haven't refueled it yet. So in the actual plane, I'll have the fuel pump off and stuff like that, but we're just checking the fuel right now, making sure there's no water separation. If there is, you have to drain the tanks. It's a whole pain in the butt. We check the lights. We're looking at the leading edge of the wings right here, make sure there's no damage. There's some dirt and stuff on there, because this plane has a very, very intrinsic damage model. I'm just taking the tie downs off. So like I said, normally I would just be checking the lights, and I'll be checking the stall horn. I wouldn't leave the battery on too long. You got fuel. We're good. You'll see with the fuel management system too, I can actually check and set my fuel. Just getting rid of the chocks now. Inspecting the landing gear and the tires and stuff like that, because there, as far as I'm tracking, there's a tire damage model. I've made about 10-15 landings with this thing already, and just I haven't reset anything. The only thing I did do is reset the engine on an earlier flight, but I can explain that later what happened. So you'll see right here, this sump right here under the engine, you cannot get any fuel out of it unless you have the fuel pump on, which makes sense because there would be no, actually I could just turn the fuel pump off. So I could just turn it on for a second. We have fuel pressure, you can see. I can just turn that off. So we're gonna go back and make sure that my theory is correct. I mean, I have fuel pressure in there, so yep, sure can. Okay, so I can just kick the fuel pump on for a second and build fuel pressure. I don't have to leave it on. Just checking the propeller blades, make sure there's no damage or nicks or anything on them. In real life, I would rub my finger across there and see if there's any dings that I can't see visually and just see if I can feel them. So we're gonna check the oil now. So the oil, we need 7 to 9 quarts. And it looks like we're probably around 10. So we're gonna leave it because that's the way it came and we haven't lost any, so we're good. Check the fuel level on this side. Okay, that's good. So it's I haven't had any problems yet with the walk around. I haven't seen anything that needs fixing yet. But I'm sure the minute I don't, oh, look at that. So I didn't put the pitot cover back on last time. And you see that there's that mist right there. If you press and hold, it'll actually say if it's hot or not. So we're gonna go ahead and turn the fuel pump off, or the pitot heat off. Come back over here. It's hot. Okay, so we know. Oh, okay. See that? Yeah. So you'd have to have that removed before flight. I didn't do it last time. That light's good. Check this as well. Looks empty to me. It shouldn't be empty. I didn't go through that much fuel, but whatever. Sump the side as well. And I mean, like I said, these are all things you do before you fly in real life, so it's pretty neat to do this stuff and kind of walk through and get myself in that habit again. The flaps are good. Neck, we're checking the static port right here, make sure there's no blockage, which there's not an interaction here, so if there is a blockage, I don't know how to fix it. Remove the tie down. Checking that it's called a stabilizer because an elevator would be fixed and then you have a horizontal stabilizer that would raise up and down like on a Cessna, but since they both move, it's technically called a stabilizer. And so in the so you're feeling in the real plane just looseness. You're not pushing too hard on the rudder because it's tied to the front tire. So you don't want to push too hard and break a cable. And check the other static port. And then, so you can throw bags in here. So if you look, flight info, you're going to see how much I weigh here. Oh, there's no, nope, you're not going to see how much I weigh. So there's no baggage. You see right here. So we got, whoop. See the left tip tank is 8. We go ahead and top her off, huh? Why not? Because gas is free in a simulator. Okay, so if you look actually, so my instructor was telling me he likes to land with the tip tanks empty because it makes sense because you have your fulcrum, and if you have those tanks full, it can, especially when it's sloshing and stuff like that, it can cause oscillations and stuff that you don't want. So that's kind of cool. So we got 90 gallons total. Empty weight's 1751, max takeoff is 3000, useful load's 1249, max baggage is 200. So we have, it should tell me how much gas we have weight wise. 537. So you have 537 pounds. You subtract the max useful load, or 500. You subtract 537 from the max useful load. Okay, that leaves like 800 something pounds. So they leaves you about 800 pounds for passengers and stuff like that. But if you throw baggage in there, you see, 20 pounds, 50, 90, 150. So you can see the center of gravity just shot back. So we're actually going to use this. This is actually nice because we have the center of gravity right in the middle. And there's a formula for that you do, but I'll take that back out. You don't need all that stuff in there. Okay, so go back to the walk around. Walk around's complete. So we're going to go ahead and turn that battery off. It was on a lot longer than it needed to be. So I went ahead and bound my my access to this. Okay. Just so I could have it on. So if I turn these nav lights off, which I'm going to actually unbind that. Oh, I don't want to unbind that. Anyway, I could turn these nav lights on. I can see it do that and see how this keeps going back because the light turns on, but it's fine. Okay, so we're going to start the checklist now. So I have the checklist in my hand. I printed off a copy of it because I'm a nerd. And this is actually from the Piper I'll be flying. So, inspection is walk around's complete. Fuel quantity is good. Oil levels checked. Control lock is removed. We got our POH, our registration, and our maintenance manual and stuff in there. Ignition key is off. Avionics masters and everything's off. Landing gear selector is down. Master switch, when you're going to turn, the master switch is on. Okay, so I'm using a honeycomb alpha yoke. So that's why you're seeing things flip on and off that I don't have. Okay, fuel gauges, we're going to check. So we're going to go ahead and turn the avionics on, and we're going to change this right here and do fill tanks. You'll see right here, I'll be able to set it. So you've got 2.3 hours of flight time in this plane so far. I love it. Refuel. I'm going to refuel to 90, save. Okay, so now we have 90 gallons of fuel remaining. Fuel selector, we're going to set to the desired tank. So we're going to use the right wingtip tank right now, just for taxi and stuff like that. There's 15 gallons in there. I'm not going to use all of that. So when we take off, I'll use the main tanks, and then I'll switch to those auxiliary tanks, and then wait until they're pretty much empty. Then I'll switch to my main tanks, but circuit breakers are all good. We're gonna go ahead and shut this door. Animation's kind of wonky, but okay, door's latched. Okay, throttle, we're gonna crack it to 1/4 of an inch. It's about right there. Mixture's gonna be full. Prop is gonna be full. We're gonna turn that beacon light on. We're going to turn the fuel pump on and we're going to listen to it. We're waiting for that fuel pressure to come up. Okay, it's green. We're going to turn it off. And then we're going to prime. 3 to 5 times. I'll do 4. Okay, it's been set 4 times. I forgot to read the flaps down. That's what happens if you don't go through a checklist. If you're going to use one, make sure you go through it all. Okay, so magnetos, we're going to get both magnetos on, and there's a push button start right there, but I have the key on this. So we're going to clear prop. Clear prop. Go start it up. We are good. Okay, we're going to check the oil pressure. That's good. We're going to bring that to 1,000 RPM. We're going to lean it out. Okay. This thing is very finicky. If you do not lean it, you will foul the spark plugs. So as soon as I hear the engine RPM drop, right there. Good, bridging it just a little bit to leave it around 1,000. Okay, flaps are retracted. Primer is in. Landing gear selector is down. The light, you need to check if it's green. It is. There it is. So these are the nav lights right here, the dial that I'm using. And Piper, in their infinite wisdom back in the 60s, figured, oh, if you have your nav lights on, you don't want to have these lights being bright and blinding you. But anyway, so transponder, we're going to set 1200 to standby. So we're going to use the GTN right here. Okay, clear that. So like I said, I'm having an issue with this where it says my desired track and my ground speed 0. It'll show my distance, but it'll show what I'm tracking, what I'm pointing at, but it'll be messing up, but that's fine. Artificial rise, we're going to set it so you can see that it's a little bit high. Another thing that I do with this is I check my HSI. It's not slaved, and there is gyroscopic drift on this thing, so I have to look at my compass. So it looks like we're at, what is that, 305. So we need to move this to 305. That's set. Okay, altimeter, we're going to need to set the field elevation, and the field elevation here is 152 feet. So we're going to go ahead and set that to 152 feet. Check what the ATIS says. It's 30.10. Oh, right on the money. Look at that. Okay, pitot heat on. We're just going to check the ammeter right here to see if it drops. It did. Bring that back down. Okay, parking brake is free. That's fine. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and release these brakes and check the brakes real quick. Okay, brakes are working as intended. Okay, we're going to go ahead and check our controls real quick. So left, up, right, down. Okay, right, up, left, down. Okay, we're going to check the stabilator. It's free. Controls are free and correct. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and taxi to the runway. In real life, I'd be calling Lehu ground or whatever, but we don't have that. So I said there's nice plane. There's marginal VFR right now. I don't see where the marginal VFR is unless there's smoke. But it looks like the runway 03 is the best takeoff, which is just down here. So we're going to they'd say taxi to runway 3 via Kilo Alpha and hold short at Mike. But we don't have that because this isn't, so the parking brake, because I need to reset how I'm sitting. There's no ground controller here, so we don't have that. So we're going to go ahead and taxi, and we're going to do a 180 real quick. Come on. Oh, I got the parking brake set. I'm an idiot. I just set it too. Flip around, use that left toe brake. You can see right here, the GTN 750 will actually allow me to follow the taxi routes. So this plane, I taxi around 1,000 RPM, and it does, I don't want to get it below 1,000 RPM because I'm scared that it's going to foul the plugs. So I don't do that. Looks like we need to come back around here. Cool. So a 40-minute flight. Look at the windsock right there, confirming that. We can go ahead and check my HSI. So if I turn right, it gets bigger. If I turn left, it gets smaller, and that's correct. Just making sure that's working. Turn coordinator's working as well. These are all checks that I'd be doing in my real life plane. Because I'm commentating, I sometimes forget things. You would think that because I'm commentating, I would be able to better keep track of things, but alas, I don't. So we're going to apply some wind correction. We're going to have, basically you're going to turn towards the wind. And if it's behind you, you're going to push down the elevator. And if it's in front of you, you're just going to leave the elevator neutral. Okay, so we're clear left, clear right. Go ahead and taxi onto Alpha real quick. So now the wind's behind me and to my left, so I'm gonna go pushing, turning left, pushing down on the elevator. So wake turbulence is modeled. Now it's directly behind me basically, so I'm just gonna leave my elevators neutral and keep the ailerons neutral and keep my elevator down. Just kind of doing a self check. So as you can see, trim is not neutral and we want that neutral. Those are special hold short lines right there. That's if it's like bad visibility and stuff like that. Okay, so we're gonna hold short right here at run 1-3. Set the parking brake. We're gonna do the run up real quick. Actually, we're gonna do it the right way. We're gonna turn the plane towards the wind. Okay, right there. Turn the plane towards the wind because you want as much airflow into that engine as possible. Okay, controls are ejector free. We're gonna enrich in the mixture. Prop is full forward. All the gauges are still in the green. We're gonna throttle up to 2,000 RPM. We're gonna do a magneto check here. Okay, there's 2,000, 2010. Okay, we're looking for a max drop of 175. Okay, that was 70 on the left one. On the right one, 70 again. Perfect. That's what we like to see. Check carburetor. Cool beans. Okay, vacuum. It needs to be around 5. It looks like it's 4.5. I don't know if that's okay or not, but it's always been 4.5, so I'm just gonna say it's good. The ammeter, we're gonna check to make sure it's charging. It says 0, which is cool, but if I pull the generator breaker, you'll see it move. So watch this. See how it went negative because I'm losing charge. So like +2, so it means I'm getting in a charge right now. And then we're gonna cycle the prop 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then we're gonna hold it at 1500. Okay, and it's holding there. That's fine. Now we're gonna check the idle. Cool. It idles. Bring it back to 1,000. Okay. Now the run-up's complete. So before the takeoff, doors closed, seatbelts are on, fuel selector. We're gonna switch to the right main tank. Make sure we got fuel pressure. We still do. Actually, we're gonna do left main tank, just because we took some off the tip tank. Fuel pump, we're gonna have it on. Flaps are set as we desired. Engine gauges are still in the green, and we're gonna turn our strobe light on. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead, and one thing I do is I just turn the landing and taxi lights on just because it doesn't hurt to have them on. Okay, before takeoff. Cool. So when we go to take off, we're gonna check to make sure the compass and everything's are aligned. Transponder, we're gonna set the altitude reporting. Boop. Okay. Pitot2 we don't need. Mixture is rich. Throttle smoothly move forward, and we're gonna rotate at 74 knots, 85 miles an hour. And once we run out of usable runway, we're gonna tap the brakes and retract the landing gear. Make sure that it stays amber, and then we should be good for the climb. Okay, so go ahead and turn towards the runway. So it's gonna be runway 03. Come on. That's not how a real plane reacts, honestly, but that's fine. Okay. So we need to make sure the runway says 03. Taxiing kind of fast, but we're fine. There's a plane. 0 mile and final. Nope, we're good. Okay. Okay, runway 03. Nobody's on final, so I'm not in a hurry, so I'm gonna set my heading bug. So I need 243 as my desired track. Okay, because that's the direction we're heading. Get this all out. Okay, we're gonna slowly bring the engine or the throttle up. Okay, everything's still in the green. We're gonna go ahead and put our heels to the floor. Okay, airspeed's already alive. Okay, gonna bring in the full beans. More right rudder. More right rudder. Okay, and there's 85. Rotate. Looking for 105 knots max rate of climb, or best rate of climb, I mean. We're gonna nose down a little bit. We haven't brought the gears up yet, just because we still have usable runway if we fail. Okay, we have ran out of usable runway, so we are going to tap the brakes, bring that gear up. So a little bit more right rudder. Okay. Light is amber. Okay, we'll be making our radio calls right now because we're going to be turning right on course. So here we go, right on course. Okay, and about 1,000 feet above field elevation is what we're at right now. Got traffic. Okay, that was just the Garmin telling me we got traffic. So, yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and turn the fuel pump off. Okay, go ahead and turn our taxi and landing lights off. We're aiming for about 2,400 feet, 2,500 feet right now. We're just doing a full lap. And once we get to our cruise altitude, I'm just gonna kind of trim the thing up and hold our altitude. This thing does have an autopilot. So need to be about 105. I see where they said the VF. Yeah, it's like brighter. So there's something over there. Some weird audio glitch or something. Okay, we're getting close. So we're gonna go ahead and start leveling off. Overshot it. It's okay. Normally I wouldn't have been trying to show you guys camera views. We're gonna get this thing to 2,400 RPM. About right there. Bring the manifold down. Just under that. There we go. Just leave it there. It doesn't need to be anything crazy. So we need to trim this. I'm pushing pretty heavily on the yoke right now, so I'm just trimming to release some of that pressure off the yoke so I don't have to do as much work. It's very pretty around here. Still got to trim. We're gaining airspeed, so it wants to lift a little bit more. So I have used the altitude hold, but I haven't used the altitude hold while I was trying to turn. So we're going to see how that works. So we're going to go. I don't want you. You can go back home. Turn the autopilot on. Just have it ready. Okay. We're at 25 hundo. Just trying to get this thing trimmed out. Takes a second to get the plane trimmed, but once you get it trimmed correctly, it should pretty much fly itself. Yeah, it's like haze or smoke coming in. Go ahead and hit the altitude hold. Maybe. Doesn't want to hold its altitude. That's odd. Do I need to have it in a mode? Just start in wings level mode. Yeah, you do. Gotta have it in a mode. Okay. So you can tell from our heading indicator right here that I was pretty much dead and that's where I needed to go. So we need to head 243 to our next point. Actually, we're actually heading to PHPA. We're gonna overfly the airfield, so we're just gonna turn. You see right here, I'm just kind of turn it to where it needs to go. Just using the plane to hold its elevation. So we're going to leave the plane at this power setting. There's no reason not to. I don't pay for gas. Now it will track VORs. So there's a VOR we're passing right there. I don't. Yeah, there's an NBS VOR. I can show you that the VOR works in this. So we're gonna go nav right here. Type this in, which is gonna be 112.6. Enter. Oh, they're yelling at me, but I wasn't even near the...
November 223 Juliet Juliet.
Go for 223 Juliet Juliet.
223 Juliet Juliet. I'm a supervisor on the VATSIM network. You took off. There's currently Honolulu Center on 126.5. Please get in touch with them.
Roger, will do. I saw that they weren't in there. Oh, they are in the airspace. I see it now. Sorry, I thought it was just Kaua'i Airport was online. That's my fault. My bad.
Yeah, no worries.
126.5. Honolulu Center, 223 Juliet Juliet.
223 Juliet Juliet HC Center.
Yeah, Roger, that's my mistake. I thought that I was outside of that jurisdiction. I didn't see your guys were online, so that's my fault for not calling out.
223 Juliet Juliet, you're fine now. You're outside controlled airspace. Free exchange approved.
Free exchange approved, 223 Juliet Juliet. Sorry about that again.
Southwest 1169, cross runway 4 left and 8 left at Kilo, Texas, Park Via Zulu. Have a good night.
Okay, so we got our nav in. I just got yelled at on VATSIM, but I thought they were offline, but they weren't, so it's my fault. Okay, so we're cruising right now, so we're gonna go ahead and lean this thing out. So it's cool. It's got a lean assist feature on here. So I'm gonna start leaning out a little bit. Wait for that bar to go 2 over. Okay, they went 2 right there. Lean
United
fine right there.
200, squawk 2462.
Start leading this thing out, and you'll see it say peak.
United 200, runway 17, clear for takeoff. The Kona wind 09011, altimeter 300 tree.
Waiting for this thing to lean out. I'm kind of going slow.
Southwest 1169 Zulu, unless you're going to the inner island in Zulu.
And leanest, and now we're gonna get the Richa peak to about between 40 and 50. Okay, a little too far, so we're leaning out again. That should be good. So my nav should be working. So, man, a lot of wind turbulence there. While this is going on, I'm gonna go ahead and climb to 3,000 feet just to stay. I know I'm not near the airspace right now, but oh, that's why. It's because it's a fucking TACAN. I'm an idiot. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and climb to 3,000 feet. Yeah, there's 3,000. It's really turbulent out here. A lot of wind. Okay, go ahead and set the autopilot. Yeah, so that was a TACAN that I was trying to. So I'm just going to show you this VOR. Is that another TACAN? It is another TACAN. Well, that's a VORTAC. 1154. I wonder if that'll work. Yep, that one works. Yeah, so I can't pick up TACANs. Okay. So we're going to look at the Philly VORTAC at 113.5. Go ahead and switch that. The course is going to be
American 115 ATS center 5x5.
looks like 17. Right there. So once we get to the point where we're landing, that should help us kind of get on course there. Ideally, this would not be a good... So you leave no contingency right here. So if you're actually trying to fly, you leave 0 contingency to land. I mean, basically, my best glide, I'm going to land on the beach from here. It's a pretty long flight, honestly. Like, speed up a little bit. I mean, we're still going pretty fast. Like, our ground speed is still 135 knots, and wow, 135 knots. That means we're getting like gusts of 30 or some shit. Yeah, 15 knot. There's 15 knot winds at we're gonna kind of fly inland here. Okay, we're just gonna double check our HSI. So we need to be heading, we're gonna set that to east. Yeah, it's pretty much dead on. Okay. So now we should be gaining some ground speed. Gauge is still in the green, still doing pretty good. That can't be right. There's no way that fuel's that low. I'm gonna cheat a little bit and use the iPad. It says 25. And the right tip's 28. We are on the right still, so we're fine. Just confirming that.
9520 Charlie. Not sure why he even sent you over to me. You've only got 11 miles to go. No traffic concern between you and destination. Radar service terminal for exchange approved.
Yeah, I messed up when I got on because I was for some reason I didn't think that they had in VATSIM the approach controls all the airports in that area unless there's a ground tower and stuff like that. For some reason I did not. I looked and saw it, but I thought when I scrolled in, I was like, oh, they only have at Kaua'i Airport, which is like 100 miles away from me. I thought they were the only ones with a controller. So when I was starting up, I still was on the VATSIM just because I wanted to listen to him talk. And well, they yelled at me. I got in trouble on VATSIM, but I mean, rightfully so. I wasn't paying attention, right? So right over our second to last point. So we're gonna call him up here in a second. You know, tell him like, hey, we're like 25 miles out inbound to land. Hopefully he's okay with that. But yeah, it's my fault for not paying any attention. I need to figure out what's going on with this thing because like this should be green because I'm using V-lock, but it's not. So I need to figure out what's going on with this thing. I'm sure it's something I'm doing, to be honest. But we're flying over a runway right in front of us. There's like a grass strip somewhere over here. Yeah, we're flying right over top of it right now. No, it's not grass, it's hard. Okay. You guys can see I have an iPad on my leg right now, using a kneeboard like I would be in real life. Just trying to stay away from that hill right there. That's the airport we're gonna be well, yeah, it should be right back there. It's a little bit farther actually, I think, but should be an airport over there somewhere. He's probably gonna have me, I don't know what he's gonna have me do. He'd probably enter into a right downwind for the runway, but I doubt that. So what he'll probably have me do is enter, he might still have me do right, but it'll be over the water for runway like 35, or it'll probably be 03 again. So I'll probably just have to stay stay away from that runway. There it is, right there. There's the airport over there. I'm gonna make a radio call, just tell them I'm like, you know, about 15 miles north. Honolulu Center, November 223 Juliet. It's 15 miles due north of, standby, of Lahui Airport in Bendelin.
Number 223 Juliet, HCF Center, report 5 miles out.
We'll report 5 miles out, 223 Juliet. Okay, so we can go ahead and start turning towards that heading, and we're going to try the GPS out real quick. We're going to overshoot a little bit This thing only has so much authority. It's probably going to yell at me to trim up. We'll see what it does. Okay, we're going to go ahead and track the VOR here in a second. Okay, so we're going to cross the VOR right. We're a little bit off right now, but... Okay, so now we're going to start tracking this VOR. Okay, it's working. Yeah, we still got a while. So we're going to go ahead and do our descent checklist right now. So we're going to keep it at cruise RPM, and we're going to bring the manifold pressure down between 15 and 17. So we're going to go ahead and turn off our altitude hold. Should be an interesting landing, honestly. Bring us down to 15, 17 to 15. Start descending. So pattern altitude is about 1,200 feet. But I'm going to fly at 1,200 feet. It's not about. Okay, we're just going to do this so I can see it. Nearest airport. There it is. Boop. Okay, direct. Activate. So it's going to tell us, it should tell us how far we are away from it, but obviously it's not giving us that information because something's fucked up. So we're just going to have to use the iPad. Just trying to slow the roll a little bit. Okay, let's just check the altimeter real quick. 3010. We're still there. Okay, cool. Okay, we're about 6.9 nice miles out. So runway 03, we're just going to mark this. I'm assuming he's going to give us runway 03. I don't actually know if he's going to. Switch that nav over just because I don't want it on there. Honolulu Center, November 223 Juliet Juliet. It's 5 miles north of La Jolla in Badland. Okay, we need to stay.
November 223 Juliet Juliet, the La Jolla, altimeter 3010102015. Enter a left downwind runway 3 clear to land.
Left downwind for runway 03, 223 Juliet Juliet. Okay, left downwind for 3.
And over 223 Juliet Juliet, runway 3 clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 3, 223 Juliet Juliet. Okay, so we're going to go left downwind, which is right here. Okay, we're going to drop that RPM down. Okay. I'm going to slide slip a little bit just because kind of high and fast. It's the engine warning. Okay, there's pattern altitude right there. We need to drop that RPM down. Okay, max gear extend is 155. We're going to extend the gears. Get some drag in this bitch. Okay, gears down. We are being the numbers. Okay, so we're going to do first notch flaps. Just look at the runway right now. Okay. Turn left base. Gonna do notch. Ballooned up a little bit, that's okay. The ground's like not scaring me, but it's not, I don't like it either. Okay, I got a lot of back pressure on the yoke right now. There's the runway. Okay, so this is about 100 knots we need. Need 95 for final. Still a little high. Okay, now return final. Last notch of flaps. Looking for 95. Okay, gumps, gas mixtures on, fuel pump on, undercarriage is down, mixtures full. Power's where we want it right now. We're basically perfect. And then seat belts and speed are good. Okay, got the runway right in front of us, still a little high. Drop the power down. Control airspeed with pitch and descent rate with your throttle. Looking for those PAPI lights to be too red, too white. Okay, yeah, there's the wind. Sides up a little bit. I don't have my landing lights on. I didn't do that check. Okay, we're still high. Okay, there's the center line. There it is. Give us some power. Okay, we made the runway. Power idle. God, don't float. Wasn't the best landing, but that's okay. While I'm sitting here, I already know I need to lean this thing out, so that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, and turn the fuel pump off. Where's my taxi instructions, bro?
Tower 223, Juliet, taxi parking this frequency. Have a good night.
Hey, take it easy. I'll taxi. I'm sorry about the confusion at the beginning.
Tower 223, Juliet, you're fine.
Okay, we're gonna taxi via Delta. Just gonna go this GA ramp over here. Delta and then Alpha.
Alaska 93, HCF center radar contact, or welcome. Climb maintain flow level tree 10.
You want to say park there, so that's where we're gonna park. Okay, we're parked where you told me to park. Okay, so I'm gonna park your Brett Sate, transponder and radios, turn those off, throttle. We're gonna bring it up to 1800 RPM for 20 seconds. Basically, that's just to clear the spark plugs. Okay, and then 1200. Leave it at 1200. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and cut the mixture. Okay, turn those magnetos off. Okay, turn all the electrical switches off. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and so through the iPad, we're gonna go ahead and control locks on, and then we're gonna do the rest on the outside because it's fun. So if you want to just get out of the plane, you can press on, or you can click on the grip tape right here. It'll exit the plane and it'll make your character leave. If you're into that kind of thing. But if you want to get back in the plane, there you go. Just go back. So we're gonna do the walk around real quick and just inspect everything. So we're gonna go walk around. We're not going to do the flaps and everything like that. We're just going to walk around to do the chocks and stuff. So put those chocks on there. Put those chocks on there. Go to the back and tie down the tail of the plane. Okay, so that's all done. So everything is chalked up. It's not chalked. It's not done. I'm an idiot. I need to tie it down too, don't I? So on the other side. There we go. Now we're good. Now we got all the chocks and tie downs done. So yeah, there was a flight around Honolulu. I messed up and didn't call ATC, but it happens. So appreciate you guys sticking around and watching the flight and enjoying the Comanche. Like I said, I'm still trying to learn the plane because hopefully I'll be getting my high performance and complex endorsements on this plane in the near future. So I do these to help me to better myself in my real life aviation journey. So this is the cheapest way for me to get out, manipulate controls, do checklists and stuff like that without actually having to rent a plane for $200 an hour. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll be catching you guys next time. See ya.